Bitmojis are a super fun way to make your slides very engaging and fun for the students to take a look at. There's lots of different ways that you can use them in Google Slides. A couple of ways that are really popular right now are for announcements, maybe for daily agendas. You can create hyperlinks to resources, different websites that you want students to go to. You can also resize these and use them for Google Classroom or even your Google Site headers. Super easy to do. There's a couple of things that you want to keep in mind when you're recreating them. You can make them look like your house. You can make them look like a classroom. One thing that you do want to have before you get started is the Bitmoji for Chrome extension. So let me show you where that is. If you don't have it, all you have to do is go to the Chrome Web Store. And you're going to search for Bitmoji. Okay, and if you don't have it, it will say add to Chrome. You just click on that and it makes it an extension that's up at the top of your screen. So the first time that you use it, you will need to sign into your Bitmoji account to get your Bitmoji on there. But all you have to do is just copy and paste it into the slide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a blank slide right here. And I am first going to go to my background. Okay, I'm going to click on background. And for image, I'm going to click choose image. Okay, you can choose classroom background. A lot of people are using kind of like a home office kind of background. So you can search for wall and floor background. That usually gives you a lot of different options. And I like to pick one because I like to use mine a lot for announcements. So I need a spot to put a text box for my students. So I would want to pick something that had plenty of wall space and less floor space. So maybe something like this would work. And then I would click insert. And what that does is it makes my background look just like the picture. Sometimes you may want to go over to Google and do an image search. Sometimes people have liked to look for classroom cartoon background that apparently has a bunch of different options. I'm just going to click on images here and see what we can find. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to use maybe this one right here. Okay, I can't just insert that one because I'm actually having to go to Google and find it. So I would need to download this one. So I would right click on the image and I'm going to save the image. And I'm just going to save this on my desktop really quickly. If you're on a Chromebook, it's easy because you save it straight to your drive, but I'm on a laptop, so it's a little bit different today. So I'm going to come back over to my slide. And when I click background this time for image, I'm going to click choose image. And if I were on my Chromebook, I could do Google Drive. But remember, I'm on a desktop, so it's a little different. I'm going to click upload and browse. And then I'm going to look for that background. And there we go. Now I have my super cute classroom background. Okay, so now I'm ready to put my Bitmoji in. So what I would need to do is come up to the top to my Bitmoji extension. And I'm going to search for a Bitmoji that I would want to use. Okay, maybe I'm going to use this one right here. Okay, I'm going to right click and choose copy image. Then I'm going to come over to my slide and right click and choose paste. I'm going to paste my Bitmoji in there. And then I can adjust the size. It's easiest if you go to the corners to adjust. And then I'm going to move myself around so it looks like I'm not flying in the air. It looks like I'm standing on the floor. There we go. Okay, so now I have lots of different things in here, but I can add more if I want to. Maybe I want to include a rug for the floor. If I wanted to do that, I would go to Insert, Image, Search the Web, and right here in the search bar, I like to put the word transparent first, because that's going to give you an image that doesn't have that white box around it. That's kind of hard to work with. So I'm going to search for transparent rug. Okay, going to give me a couple of different options. And I'm just going to pick this one and see what it does. Okay. All right, so it gave me a rug. I'm going to resize it. Now I just drag it down. I want to show you guys something right here. See how this rug kind of overlaps with my Bitmoji? If I want that rug to look like it's behind me, I can click on the rug and then right click and go to order. I'm going to send this image to the back. That's going to make it look like I'm actually standing on the rug. Then I can move my Bitmoji so it looks like I'm right in the middle. Okay, so if you want to move something like that, all you do is click on the item that you want, right click and order. If you want it to come forward, you bring it to the front. If you need it to go behind something, you can send it to the back. Okay, now right here on my board is where I could insert a text box. Just click and drag. And then I can choose my font that I want to use. I can change the size. Okay, if I want to change the color, I could. If I want to make it bold, if I want to center it, I can do that. Okay. Okay, so now I have a message on my board. So that's where I could put my announcements, my work for that day, whatever they needed to do. Okay, so like I said, you can get very, very creative in here with it. I like to use it more for announcements. I made mine look kind of like an office, like a home office area or a den, but you can make it look like your classroom. You can make it look like a little office, whatever you want to do. Okay. Now, if you find a picture and you want to include it, but it has that white background, there is a way around that. So I'm just going to look for, like, if I wanted a couch. Okay, maybe I wanted to include this couch right here. But see how it has that white thing around it? If I tried to copy this and paste it into, paste it into my picture, have that box around it. So there's a website you can go to. It's remove.bg. Okay, it will remove backgrounds from your image. So what you have to do is I would need to save this image. Okay, then I would come over to remove.bg and I would upload it to the website. And what it will do is it does some kind of fancy magic and it removes the background for you. Just like that. So then I can download my picture. And now it doesn't have the background, which is totally awesome. So I'm going to copy, paste it. Whoops, I messed up. I'm so sorry. I needed to go and download that actually to my desktop again. I'm going to show in the folder. All right, so I have it in my desktop. Now I'm going to come over and I need to go to Insert, Image, Upload from my computer. Then I'm going to find my couch that doesn't have a background. There it is. Open. Now I have a couch without a background, which is super cool. Okay, so remove.bg is a super great, awesome resource for a lot of different things if you use a lot of images. Okay, so what I can do right here, I'm going to put my couch on the floor, and I'm going to choose a different Bitmoji. Okay, I'm going to choose one where I'm sitting down with a cup of coffee. Well, right here. Okay, I'm going to paste this Bitmoji in, which on the couch, it's going to look fine. But if I had maybe a chair or something and I needed to flip where I was turned the other way, I can actually rotate my Bitmoji. To do that, I just right click on the Bitmoji and go to rotate and flip horizontally, and that will flip me in the other direction. Okay, so you also have that ability in Google Slides to move your pictures around a little bit. Another thing you might want to do is if you have a picture that you want to use but it has text or something, you can actually crop that out. So for example, if I wanted to use this one, okay, paste her in, okay, and if you notice it has that big green thing on there, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to click on my Bitmoji and right click, and I'm going to crop my image. And I am going to shrink it down a little bit and then click, and that gets rid of it for me. So if you have one that has text or something and you need to get rid of that, that's one option too. Okay. I have my slide ready. I can actually just download it and put it into Google Classroom just as an announcement or material. If I want to actually make a Google Classroom header, what I would do is I would make a new Google slide, and I would want to go ahead and change the size of the slide. Okay, because if I try to use it in slides and then adjust the size of it, it sometimes looks a little weird. So I've just built a brand new Google slide, and I want to get rid of these text boxes so that I have a blank slide. I can just right click on the slide, go to layout, and then it's going to give me some options. If I scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's one called blank. Okay, that gives me a blank slide. Okay, to change my size, I'm going to go to File, Page Setup, and it's set to widescreen, so I need to change that to custom because I need to customize this. If you are going to use it for a Google Classroom banner, you want to have 1600, 400, and then you need to change inches over to pixels. Ooh, let me fix that number. Maybe you need to put pixels first. Let's see, 1600, 400. There we go. And apply. And that makes it just the right size for your Google Classroom header. So I would go through my steps right here. I would choose a background. And I'm just going to choose a quick one right now. And I'm just going to put in a Bitmoji just for fun right now, just so I can show you how you would put it into Classroom. Let's see. Okay, and if you're making it your Google Classroom header, remember over on the top left-hand side, it will have the name of your Google Classroom and the code. So if you put your Bitmoji or something over on the left, you might not be able to see it as well. So I tend to put most of my stuff over on the right-hand side or in the center. Okay, so what I would want to do is I would want to download this. Give it a name first. I want to download it as a PNG. PNG files are a little bit clearer than a JPEG. You could use either one, but I just prefer PNG. You would go to File and Download, and then choose PNG. And if you were on a Chromebook, you would save it to your drive. But since I am on a desktop, I'm going to save it to my desktop. And then I'm going to come over to my Google Classroom, and I'm going to choose Upload Photo. Select a photo from my computer, and that's where I would go and find the header I created. Open. And then I can stretch it out. I can move it over. Oops. See, this is why I told you kind of keep things on the right-hand side because it's still blocking a little bit of it right there. I'm going to select that as my class theme. And then there's my header. Notice it does kind of have a tinted look to it. There's no way to get rid of that. That's actually for students who may have vision problems. It's to help them to see it a little bit better. So you will have to kind of play around with it until you get it just right. But like I said, there are tons of different ways that you could use this in the classroom. One really cool idea I saw was that different teachers were using it to, they put actually their whole team on there or their whole staff, and they made like a giant slide with all the staff Bitmojis on there. And, just told the kids, we miss you. And it had all their Bitmojis on there, which was really, really neat. If you have any questions about this, just let me know. I have several different YouTube videos that I can send you, as well as a link to the Facebook group that has tons of different ways you can use it in your classroom. I hope you guys have a fantastic week.